All right, so the show tonight focused on commissions of inquiry and something similar. The inquiry into the fitness to hold office of suspended NPA senior advocates Nomgcobo Jiba and Mrwebi set to begin in Pretoria tomorrow morning. Jiba is the National Prosecuting Authority's deputy head, Mwrebi the head of the Specialised Commercial Crimes Unit. They were suspended in October last year by President Cyril Ramaphosa. The inquiry will be headed by retired Constitutional Court Justice Yvonne Mokgoro. Jiba and Mwrebi are accused of maladministration and misconduct. This relates to the pair's handling of several high-profile cases, including that of former intelligence head Richard Mdluli. The two senior prosecutors have been under the spotlight for several controversies. In July last year, the Supreme Court of Appeal overturned a Pretoria High Court ruling striking the pair off the role of advocates. The matter is still pending before the Constitutional Court. Both Jiba and Mwrebi remain on suspension. The first witness to take the stand at the Mokgoro inquiry will be acting NPA head Dr. Silas Ramaite. Well, let's find out more. SABC Sipho Sturman will be following this for us. Sipho, so let's just put this in context. The big controversy around Richard Mdluli, an alleged murderer once. Explain why they are in such hot water.
All right. Well, the two, as you mentioned there, that, they've been under a lot of spotlight in the public. Of course, you mentioned the case of them being removed from the advocate's role. And, of course, that matter is now before the Constitutional Court. But these two, of course, have come under spotlight, one being the deputy head, Nomgcobo Jiba, and of course we have Mwrebi, who is the director, who is rather the head of Specialised Commercial Crimes Unit, a unit that deals with intricate and specialized crimes in the country that's supposed to investigate those type of crimes. So certainly he is holding a very high position, and they have been then come under scrutiny in the manner they've handled the high profile cases, particularly Nomgcobo Jiba. She has also come excuse me, she's also come under a lot of scrutiny in the manner that she has handled a number of cases. That includes the investigation into the Hawks Ahead in KZN. That is Johan Boysen. The Durban High Court there found that her actions there were unlawful and unconstitutional. So certainly there's been a number of controversies around these two.
So they are accused of protecting people. It can't be good timing, Sipho, that apparently, if the reports are true, in the Zondo Commission this week, it will be heard that they took bribes to protect others as well.
Well, yes, Sunday newspapers are reporting that they are implicated in the current Bosasa and, agrees the testimony before that is a state capture inquiry. But the newspapers that is Sunday Times particularly did quote the two of them denying any wrongdoing, saying that they did not receive any of these monies and that they would be approaching the inquiry seeking to clear their names, saying that they have no relations with Bosasa whatsoever. But this also just paints a picture of these two senior advocates that are highly tainted, that have had a number of scandals around them, particularly Jiba. She is the deputy head of the NPA, and as it stands right now, the NPA is looking into reinstating perjury and fraud charges against her. That, of course, relates to this KZN Hawks charges matter. Those charges against the perjury and fraud were infamously, of course, dropped by the previous NPA head, that is Sean Abrahams, but that decision was overturned by the High Court in Pretoria, and now the NPA is sitting with the possibility of reinstating those charges against him. So you have a deputy head here that is fighting to remain an advocate, to remain in the role of advocates, and that matter is in the Constitutional Court. Two, she could possibly be facing perjury and fraud charges from the NPA itself. So certainly with the president, that is President Ramaphosa, looking to clean the image of the NPA, does the NPA need a person that is seemingly tainted, such as Jiba, a person that has had a number of controversies around them? We know, of course, now that there is a new head, that is Shamila Patoi, that has been appointed, who's coming in February. But now, will then, you're talking about building public trust and integrity of these institutions, yet you have Jiba, who was also seen to be a very close ally of President Zuma, who was seen to be have delayed the possible reinstatement of those charges against President Zuma. Of course, we know that those charges were later reinstated, but she seems to have been politically compromised or politically captured. So does having her in the NPA help this new direction, this new tone that the NPA is being led to? So certainly that fitness, that inquiry into her fitness to hold office is going to be looking at those type of scandals around her name and her image, and how that will impact the image of the NPA overall. Of course, we know that with the previous head, Shaun Abrahams, the NPA has come under scrutiny. Public confidence was also said to be very low in the NPA, that it was believed to have been politically captured. So now we are sitting with an institution that's trying to rebrand and change its public image, and of course regain the trust of the public. And with Jiba there, can they really do that? But of course, we are going to find out when this inquiry starts. Of course, the current acting NPA head, Dr. Cyril Ramaphosa, will be giving testimony. But we also have Advocate Chris Jordan, who will also be giving testimony. And Chris Jordan is a former head of a Specialized Commercial Crimes Unit, the current position that is being held by Mwrebi. So we have Chris Jordan, who will also be coming there giving that testimony. The commission has up until the 9th of March to finish its work. The list of witnesses has not yet been finalized. I was speaking with the spokesperson. They say they have not finalized that, but certainly there is a number of witnesses that are expected to come through. We don't at this stage know if Jiba and Mwrebi themselves will be applying for permission to give testimony, but of course that will be revealed during the course of this inquiry.
Sipho, in finality, you've alluded to this. It's about two people, but really about our country and whether prosecutions, the people who should be putting the bad people away, have been captured or not.
Yes, certainly. There seems to be a history that, especially now we're seeing this Bosasa Agrizi matter that is linking Jiba to protecting certain politically connected individuals. You'll remember also the previous, one of the previous NPA heads, Mokgoro, also clashed with Jiba on a number of occasions. And I remember interviewing him, and he mentioned that he believes that his exit, when he was given that 17 million handshake by former President Jacob Zuma, that 17 million was declared also to be invalid and illegal by the courts. But certainly when he was given that golden handshake, he seemed to have had clashes with Jiba, and when I was speaking to him, he said that Jiba refused to take instructions, and I would tell him that there is nothing that Ngasana can do, because she was appointed directly by the president as a deputy. So you have a person there that is involved in a number of controversies, and in some of the matters, that high-profile matters or scandals around the institution, her name seems to be coming up regularly. Of course, at this stage, some of these matters, allegations, maybe they will be ironed out during this inquiry. But certainly, the court records of having your names almost removed from the role of advocates, she could possibly be facing those perjury and fraud charges from the NPA itself. And so is that the type of deputy that you need, a deputy that is busy fighting her own legal battles? Then when will she have a time to fight crime in the country, as is expected of a person in her position? So certainly, of course, without casting a dark cloud over her, because she has not been found guilty of any of these matters, but there is, of course, some controversies around her, Francis.
All right, thank you very much, Sipho Stuurman. He'll follow that hearings into the fitness to hold office of those very two top prosecutors.